Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Underhood Show presented by Mel Hamilton Ford. It's a beautiful Saturday in Cape Land. Josh,
it is. Yeah.
Sunny and 70, isn't it?
Somewhere.
It's sunny, maybe not 70.
Yeah.
But,
we'll take it, right?
Exactly. Everybody, it's a call-in show, 316-462-3673. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, you want to talk about anything in the automobile world, love to hear from you. And you get a great price package. Just calling at that number right down the bottom left of the screen, 316-462-3673. Jumps onto the front desk and tell the girls you can get patched in the podcast with your question, comments, whatever, and you get a great price package. As always, Josh, what's in that package, buddy?
So we're going to mail it out to you, but it's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. We use Motorcraft oil and filter products here at Mel Hamilton Ford. Excuse me. Got to spit it out there.
Something right.
Anyways, Motorcraft oil and filter products here at Mel Hamilton Ford. While we're completing that, we're going to complete a multi-point inspection on that vehicle, checking over the brakes, tires, steering, suspension, all the safety-related components, just making sure that it's ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. You'll get yourself $10 to Mel's Diner, so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us at the Big Corner. Complete nitrogen for your tires, so you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer. And then a BG products package, which consists of a can of MOA or motor oil additive for your engine oil, and then 44K for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving.
All right, the phone's ringing, 316-462-3673. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, anything in the automobile world. You want to talk about anything in racing, I don't care. Get on the phones, just talk about it, and we'll have some fun and get that price package out. Delbert's live with us. Good morning, Delbert.
Yeah, well, I think we missed you last weekend, Delbert, because I figured for sure you would chime in on the topic we had last week, about driving in different countries or Uber experiences or Uber rides that you had. And I figured
I bet
for
old
sure,
Delbert can tell us a few little Uber stories is what I'll bet you.
Figured he would be all over that, but had a lot of great calls about those stories or whatever last week as well. So, but anyways, Black Friday, how about that?
Hey, it's over. I guess you call it now. What do they call Saturday? Black Saturday? Second Black Friday.
I'm not I'm not up on all that stuff, but I do know. I think Monday is maybe Cyber Monday. I think
that is true. I do know that Saturday's got to be something. I don't know what it is, but
how about the day after Black Friday?
Yeah, exactly. So hey, we had a great day here at Mel Hamilton Ford yesterday. We had a grand total of 16 of those escapes. We do have one left.
Yeah,
of the 16. Special escapes that we took out of our rental department, had them specially priced, really cheap. These cars were anywhere from $24,000 to $27,000. We had them down at $19,000 and $17,000, depending on the miles and stuff that was on them too. So small business Saturday. Thanks, Greg.
Yeah.
And Eric Chesmer says that Mel's Diner, hidden gem in the dealership world. Yeah, it's a great little diner. I see Eric over there all the time having that salad. I don't know which one salad he gets, but he gets a salad about every time I see him in here. So, from that part. But yeah, we had a great day here at Mel Hamilton Ford. And again, it is still going on. Buy a car, get an envelope. And if you buy a used car, it's going to be anywhere from $500 to $5,000. But if it's a new car, it could be $1,000 to $5,500. I guess I got to back up a little bit. The $5,000 got taken yesterday.
Oh, did it?
There is going to be a $5,000 for that black envelope. It's gone. So it's going to be probably $4,500.
How was that?
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm guessing they were pretty excited about that deal.
Good long-time customers that got it. So excited for them. I think about a new Super Duty, traded in F-150. So still envelopes out there to go. But the other thing is then you get to put a golden ticket in the bucket. And Monday morning, about around noon, we're going to do a live, and we're going to draw somebody out of all those purchases that were made for the last 7 days, and someone's going to win another $5,000.
Yeah.
So you don't want to miss out on that. But a lot of great deals still out there and stuff too. And Josh, what are you showing me there?
Oh, so they bought one of these Escapes yesterday, and they texted me this morning, said going on a Saturday morning test drive, and they're driving it through. So they live up by Manhattan. I'm guessing that's frost, but it looks like it's snow. It's maybe snowed up there, or
I don't know. Snow in Manhattan.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah. So anyway, Delbert, sorry I had some family things going on and still haven't watched last week's show. That's terrible, Delbert. I did watch most of the ads for Black Friday, and wow, you're right. So basically, we've got black envelopes you can draw, and anywhere from $500 to $5,000, but the $5,000 is gone. From that part, a lot of big numbers in between there, from I've seen 900 to 1,700 to 2,200, 2,500 bucks in those envelopes. There's still quite a few envelopes still up there, of course. On the new side, reason it's worth $500 more, it's Ford come out with a buy a new Ford through December 2nd, pick up a $500 Amazon gift card, or you can put it towards your deal. And yesterday, every new car that we sold, everyone took that $500 and put it right to the deal. Did not take the Amazon gift card.
Gift card.
I get it, but it's $500, 500 more, just until through Monday. So I don't want to miss out on that too. So anyway, so great time here at Mel Hamilton Ford. Don't forget the black envelopes are still rolling through today. Lots of great stuff still out there and everything else too from that part. So, and one of those Escapes left at $19,988. It's about a $24,000 car. So great savings on that. If you're looking for an Escape, one left of the 16 that we sold since last Friday. So anyway, Josh, how about the back half? How's everything going in the back and all that?
It's definitely busy. And that's one of the things that definitely we can talk about for sure. But almost on the service side of things, you get it's almost like two different entities, right? Between the quick lane and the main store, and trying to get customers taken care of and designate what goes where, and to get a customer taken care of. And it's just amazing in this business on trying to schedule, and it's always if having a good dispatcher is huge, which I believe we have. I believe we have one of the best, right?
Agree to that
from that side of it. But that's definitely huge. But when with the number of technicians that we have, when you get stuff rolling in the shop, and then you got a lot of these big jobs going on, and it's like, okay, well, now we're getting, so to speak, kind of plugged up, I guess, if you will, because we got a lot of heavier jobs going on, and we've got to be able to kind of keep the flow of traffic going. And then when you're a couple weeks behind on appointments, or if you're about 2 weeks out on appointments, like, it's hard to get through that log, right? And that's there's just certain times where you'll walk around the shop and it's like, man, there's just a lot of bigger things going on, and we need to get that out so we can kick some of this loose. And then there's other times where it's like, okay, well, we need more work. Let's let's take on more. And so it's definitely always a challenge. And we really try to do the best we can to get each and every customer taken care of, because I mean, at the end of the day, and I get it, right? Like, I'm a customer too in other places and stuff like that. At the end of the day, customers don't really care what you have going on that's not their stuff, right? They just want their stuff taken care of. And
I get that too, but it's a situation to me is where I roll into a restaurant. If there's nobody there, I'm kind of going to leave, because there's a reason nobody's there. If there's a line that everybody's waiting, then hey, I guess that's somebody's waiting for a reason, because it's good food. So that's how I kind of look at our service department. Our quick lane, of course, we try to get that through there every day, as many as we can. But the main stores, we're booked out a few weeks, and sorry about that. But again, it's a way to wait for a good tech, a good part, a good service, and everything else. We can take care of you from that part too.
And the biggest thing is, like, okay, when we get to that, we want to make sure that it's quality, right? That we're taking the concerns under consideration. Like, nobody's just bringing their vehicle in because they thought it'd be a good day to bring their vehicle in, right? Like, they've seriously experiencing something and took the time to get it to us and all that stuff. And so we want to make sure that we do our due diligence. And so there are times that it's just flat hard to replicate stuff, right? Like, I think you can, everybody can relate to that on a medical level of some sort. Like, they maybe aren't feeling the greatest, and then they set a doctor's appointment, and by the time the doctor appointment rolls around or whatever, they're going to see the doctor, and it's like, I'm maybe not feeling as bad as what I once was, and do I really need to go, and stuff like that. But I promise you that if the car's exhibiting something or not doing something right, and you're driving it each and every day and you notice it, like, that's it's going to come back around, for sure. Yeah. And so that's the car's way of talking to you, to say, hey, something needs to be
it's not going to go away. It might have went away for a little bit, but it's going to be back. I promise you that too. So, hey, got a 2000 Dodge Ram van with no heat. Replace the switches next to the blower motor, and where does the ambient temperature sensor go? I don't think that's probably the problem, Daniel. I think maybe what you're fighting is the engine getting up to operating temperature, and is the heater core flowing the water through the heater core? Is the first thing I'd be trying to check with no heat on a Ram van. So, and then take the inlet and the outlet of the heater cord, and all you got to do is put your hand on that thing and see if the temperature coming out of both hoses is hot. then you know that heater core is flowing. But if one's warmer and one's cold from that part, but the first thing is the engine getting up to operating temperature to build the heat.
Or is it full of coolant? Like if it's low, you could have a coolant level issue as well, for sure. But definitely checking the heater hoses on that thing would be.
But I'm going to say a 2000 Ram doesn't have an ambient temperature sensor, is what I don't think.
So it'll have an ambient temperature sensor, but that's going to be more. So I'm sure it has a like a ambient temperature sensor, like a outside temperature display somewhere on a 2000, but it's not going to.
That's not going to affect your heater.
What that would do is if that ambient temperature sensor was reading incorrectly, like it would prevent the AC compressor from coming on. So it would definitely affect like the cooling of the vehicle if it was not working correctly. But yeah, yes,
Tip's good. So now take your hand when its engine's running and take the inlet and the outlet of the heater core, Daniel, and see if they're both the same temperature, if they're both hot. Now we'd worried where the heater core is plugged up and not flowing enough heat through it. Now, if that's not it, then I'm just the next thing's going to be is looking to see if the temperature door is moving to the heat mode, or the cold mode in the evaporator side of the evaporator heater
in
case.
The case, yeah,
would be my next thing to look at too from there. But I don't think the ambient temperature is going to make it not have heat.
It should not make it not have heat, for sure.
So anyway, 316-462-3673. Anything ailing in your car, tires, brakes, batteries, love to hear from you. And we can answer your questions and see what else is happening.
Can you believe that it's
almost December? Yeah, it is. It's tomorrow, isn't it?
That is tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 1st of December.
1 month to go in 2024. It seemed like 2024 just started.
It's it is absolutely crazy, for sure.
Yep, exactly. So
to be able to blow through that.
I don't know where the year went, but time flies and you're having fun, I guess is what it amounts to. So
I think probably what next on our list is probably PRI, right?
Yeah, PRI. It's we're getting ready to set up for our 4th year at PRI. We're back there with a great display. This year we're headed up there with one of our regular cab F-150s that we have put a Whipple supercharger on, 725 horsepower. And we've lowered it down with a complete suspension kit from Ride Tech Suspensions. Of course, it's a white truck, and of course, we powder coated everything white on that part. We got some Hoosier slicks all the way around it with some Weld racing wheels. And then we went to Midwest Customs, and they did a lot of work on our headlights, taillights, painted our bumpers, doors, put some lit up door handles.
Yeah.
Got everything kind of white, so it's a white truck.
The emblem in the back lit up, the Ford emblem in the back, and the one in the front.
Back, front and back lit up. So it's a neat truck we're going to have on display. Yes, it is for sale.
We'll have to get some pictures and put up here next week, maybe.
It is for sale. It'll probably be on the showroom floor. I'm going to hopefully by Tuesday we'll have it on the showroom floor. If it does sell before we leave for PRI, I'm sorry, it's going to go to PRI and be on display for the whole week there. Up in Indianapolis, and it's always a fun time there. We meet a lot of people and stuff there at PRI. Of course, we had up the Sunday before. We're going to go to our Hoosier distributor meetings and see what's new and latest and greatest for Hoosier and what's on their plans for the 2025. So it'll be exciting for that to see all the Hoosier distributors and see what's new and exciting in their worlds and what we're kind of ahead for 2025. I feel good about 2025. I think it's going to be great with where the racing world's going and stuff too. And then we'll have the 3 days at PRI. And then the other thing we're going to have on display is we took and Mullins Racing Chassis, built us a chassis, and we're bolting on all of our Mel Hamilton Racing parts to be on display on that chassis. It's a modified chassis, and then it will have half of a body on it, so you can kind of see half the body and half not, and then display all the things that we sell inside here at Mel Hamilton Ford for your race cars. So that'll be a fun time there. We always meet some great people there at PRI and have a great time. That part. So that's coming up here. We'll be leaving the 8th, right?
Yeah, it'll be right around the corner. So it'll be actually a week from tomorrow. That's crazy.
Crazy from that part too. So anyway, 316-462-3673. Let's hear from you. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries? Want to ask about PRI? We'll talk about Black Friday. We'll talk about that too. So
I've got a question here. I'm looking at Delbert's picture, and last week we talked about, kind of driving in other countries and stuff like that. But how about if somebody has experience driving in other countries or driving military vehicles or anything unique from the armed forces.
How about flying something from the Air Forces? Got some
That
pilots out there?
would be that'd be pretty cool.
Flown in the wars or whatever. I'd love to hear from you. 316-462-3673. Daniel's going to call in because he's still flustered over his 2000 Ram van with no heat. I don't know what you think you need heat for.
Dodge Ram van. Well, I've just seen some pictures of snow, so I think that's why they need some heat. If I had to guess.
I was just kidding.
Yeah. Hey, let's go to the phones and talk to Daniel. Daniel, you're on live with Under the Hood.
Good morning, gentlemen, my crazy ass mechanics.
So is the fan blowing or not?
Nope, it quit.
Okay, so that's what's wrong. You got no heat, you got no blower. We were thinking you didn't have no heat, but you don't have no blower. So you're missing the blower fans.
All right, don't interrupt, so listen carefully. I put it on defrost and floor. I have, lack of a better word, ambient heat coming out of the dash, but no blower motor. So I replaced all the switches, and they're identical to, I got it from rockauto.com. So they're identical to all the major parts houses, the doorman. Still no heat, no blower motor. And where is the heater core located at?
So the heater core is in the dash. Is in the dash. But if the blower motor is not, if it's not blowing air across it, like it's not from the heater core, can you hear the blower motor run?
Well, and this is weird. It makes a clicking sound when I first turn the van on, and it's kind of like a grinding noise, like when you're grinding up meat in an old-fashioned meat grinder. But anyway, I hear it, but yet no airflow. I'm thinking maybe the bearings went bad in the motor. I got one. I just can't.
Yeah.
I got a replacement. I just can't get to it because it's under the hood, the evaporator or whatever that thing's called.
Yeah, it's under the case at the bottom of the dash, right?
What?
It's at the bottom of the dash, right?
No,
or it's out under the hood.
It's on this model. It's a Dodge Ram van 2500.
Yeah.
It's under the hood. The air conditioning evaporator, condenser, whatever that thing is where the resistor is, and below that is the blower motor.
Yeah. So on that, so you can put your hand out under the hood. You can put your hand on the blower motor, right?
Yeah, I got to remove the air duct work going to the fuel injected planium.
Yeah, but if you when you turn it on or command it on, can you feel that blower motor running or no?
I never tried that yet.
Yeah, I would.
Like I said, on the inside, I don't know if it's the blending door or if it's the motor, but I hear this clicking, grinding kind of noise, and for a few minutes I'll have airflow very, very low, and then all of a sudden it'll stop.
Yeah, I bet the blower motor is probably out of the thing.
I think the bearings went out of the motor. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Now, the reason I'm asking about the ambient air temperature sensor, according to Mitchell manuals at the public library here, it's supposed to have one, and I can't find it. Under the hood, when I popped up the hood, there's a socket, but no light, nothing. And the one I ordered from Rock Auto is a 2-prong air sensor, ambient air control sensor. And according to the book, it's supposed to regulate the kind of like your air conditioning thermostat in a house. That's what that little sensor's for.
Yeah, so the ambient sensor for outside, so some of them, it might have like an evaporative sensor, and that would just keep the an evaporative sensor, so it goes in the evaporator, and it would be a probe that would go into the evaporator, and the only thing it's going to do is, as that evaporator becomes close to freezing up when the air conditioner's on, then it'll shut off the AC, and to keep the evaporator from just becoming a big block of ice.
When I took out the resistor that you guys told me about a few months ago, I was blown away because it was chock full of leaves. This van sat from 2019 until March of this year when I got it.
Yeah.
It's a handicap van. It's got the tall fiberglass roof. It's got front and rear heat and air conditioning. They took out the loading platform on the side doors, but everything else is there. So I'm wondering if some of the wiring professionals, it was all done in Nebraska, maybe got something screwed up, because I don't know how Traley's is going to get in that resistor, all them coils inside, and it's literally packed with leaks. Got any ideas?
Yeah, so on the ventilation system in that vehicle, there is a fresh air and a recirculate air. So they're under the under the wiper cowl, there's slits or a vent there, and that's to be able to suck in fresh air from the outside. And so yeah, it would be possible to get leaves and stuff like that in there. Now, there shouldn't be big leaves in there, but obviously if those screens are damaged or whatever, that would allow that to happen. I mean, that's where a lot of the modern vehicles now have cabin air filters on them, is for situations just like that.
When I got the van in late March of this year, it took me 2-3 days to get that 318 Magnum engine running. Had really good AC, really good heat, but the fan motor only had one speed. If you remember when I called in, it had one speed, high. Anyway, I replaced all them switches and everything. So what you're saying is, when I start the van, pop the hood, and because I can reach it from with the hood open, and see if that motor is actually turning. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I want to know if the blower motor is actually spinning or not. But I'm with Phil. I think there's probably something going on with the blower motor itself. Would be my guess.
Well, I got a brand new one in the box I got, and haven't installed it yet because of this neuropathy in my hands. And I'm trying to find a set of magnetic sockets, because it's got them weird, I call them plastic screws, the thread each. I don't want to drop them screws into the engine bay, and I'll lose them forever.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll see what I can do this weekend, and call you back next week and let you know what I found out.
That sounds great. Put that blower, if you get that blower motor in there, buddy, is what I'm thinking. The other thing too, I don't know, can you get to the electrical connector on it and just unplug it and get the new one down there and just plug it in and make sure it runs that way, maybe, before you start unbolting it?
I'd have to run an alligator jumper from that. It looks like an old-fashioned twist lock fuse holder. I can probably unplug that and run a alligator clip jumper test thing.
That'd just keep you from doing all the work and then not knowing whether until it's in,
Yeah, right. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys, and have a good day.
You too, Dave.
You too.
All right, we got someone else holding on the line, and still think he's got a blower motor situation. What I got, and Jeremy Kane thinks he's got it diagnosed. Josh,
think so?
He said, "Ain't no gas in it." TikTok videos, they ain't got no gas in it. So let's get who's coming in next here. Coming in hot.
We've got let's see. Let's go to the phones. Let's talk to Jeffrey. Jeffrey, you're on live with Under the Hood. Good morning.
Good morning, Josh and Phil. How are y'all?
Perfect. Doing great.
So I have a question. I have a 2007 Chevy Tahoe that's throwing a stability check code.
Okay.
And I've taken it into a few repair shops, and they know absolutely nothing about the stability check code. how do I go about getting that fixed? I've even called your repair shop, and y'all know nothing about it either.
What, like, do you know the code, or do you know what's?
Well, what I'm going to bet they don't have a scanner good enough to pull the code. Is what I'm going
Yeah.
to tell you.
I don't know the code right off the top of my head.
Yeah, what I'm going to bet these repair shops know nothing about it. Don't have a good enough scanner to read into that code. They can get you probably a generic code that doesn't help them diagnose it or whatever either. We need to not have what we have talked about, so many times is the auto repair shops, auto parts shops have these code readers and let you plug them things in real quick, and they think they're going to sell you a bunch of parts by what the code that says and that sort of thing. But to get that stability control codes, you need a scanner that will actually go in and read the 4-digit code deep enough to give us the right proper flow chart and then kind of go through it. I'm just trying to remember back on an 07 on the stability.
I mean, there's a lot of things that could cause a light. Anything from a wheel speed sensor to a steering position sensor would probably be one of the top.
Two.
Yeah, one of the top ones on my.
Is that the only light that's on a stability?
It's not the only light on. I have my check engine light on because I have a throttle body kit that I've got to get fixed.
Okay.
And I've been having issues trying to get that.
All right. So that's probably also turn on your stability track because it can't control everything with that throttle body is not working correctly. So you've got probably one problem that's turn on. I don't know how many lights you got on, 3 or 4, but turning all those lights on because those systems can't work if that throttle body is not working correctly either. Okay.
Okay.
What I'd love to do is get your Tahoe so we can run the codes down ourselves and see what you really got there and determine if that is the need that you do need a throttle body. But if the vehicle's still driving and going, I'm not sure that's the proper diagnosis of replacing the complete throttle body either.
How long has the light been on for?
6 months or more.
And then what, like the check engine light?
The stability track doesn't come on all the time. And like I drove all the way to Texas and back with no problems.
Yep.
But then I pulled the trailer down to Independence, Kansas, and it threw the stability track light on on the way back with the trailer.
Yeah.
So it didn't throw it on at all on the way down there, and then on the way back it threw it on.
And
it's just been
how long has the check engine light been on for?
Left and right. Check engine light's been on since day of purchase 3 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So it started with just a basic check engine light, and then these other lights that grew into it, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to get it in, and we're going to throw a diagnostic on your package, buddy, and we can get it in here and see what we got and see if it really is that. It could be it needs a throttle body. I don't think so, since the car's driving correctly and all that kind of stuff too. But all those lights are coming on strictly because these systems have to work together, and when one's got a failure in it, it shuts the other system down.
Does a vehicle go into a limp mode at all? Like, will it go into a reduced power mode, or?
No, it doesn't act like it does.
Yeah.
Everything's working okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to put a diagnostic in your package, buddy. We can take a look at it and see exactly what we got going on there and pinpoint the right problem and not try to go fight a problem that's fighting another, because we first need to fix that check engine light before we can fix the stability track. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah. So we'll get that added to your package so we can put a scanner in there, read the codes, see how many codes we really have, see how many have history codes, how many are active codes, and pinpoint this thing down to probably needing one part to fix all those lights is what I'll bet.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll get that mailed out to you. Let's get an appointment set up and get that Tahoe in here and get you fixed up, buddy. Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah. So basically that's what's going on there. He's probably that check engine light is just what's causing the issue with everything else, is my opinion.
So I run into that kind of pretty similar situation this week. I had a gentleman that, vehicle wasn't running right. It would die when you pull up to a stop sign a couple times, and then after it died 3 or 4 times, it would set like a hard fault, and he would get several lights. It happened to be on a Dodge Durango. Check engine light would come on, the traction control light would come on, the ESC light would come on, things like that. And then after all those lights come on, it would stay running, but it'd go into like a reduced power or limp mode. Well, it took it to a parts house, and naturally, with all those lights on, I mean, he had a list. He showed me the list of codes, and the very top one was the map sensor.
Yep.
So they sold him a map sensor because that was the first code on the list. And so he puts it on, and then
Didn't fix
you know,
it, did it?
didn't do anything, didn't
And I
change
bet you money
anything.
it didn't fix it, Josh.
Nothing like that. And so then he's like, well, I don't want to just go back, you know, and buy
Keep buying parts.
the next part in line. And so he's like, hey, can you guys take a look at that? And I was like, well, sure. And so he gets it in there, and we scanned it and run through all the codes, and the vehicle ended up needing a throttle position sensor, and the throttle position sensor was not any one of those codes listed on the thing.
Yeah.
And the only way we found that is just by the way it was acting and the values that it was given and stuff like that. But fixed it for, you know, less money than what the map sensor cost him initially, not to mention if he would have went back again and again and again, and just the amount of headache that was.
Well, you know,
and I don't know too, the what they were using, it may not even have been able to pull that code, that specific code.
That's what it was.
Know?
I was getting ready to say that code reader they had just wasn't a good enough one to communicate with all the different computers and everything on the car to pull what it needed to pull from that part. But it goes back to back in my day. I know it was a long time ago. If you walked in a shop and that guy had a shop manual out, he had no idea what he was doing. Today, if you walk in and the guy doesn't have a computer or a laptop or whatever plugged into that car,
well, or even have that available to him,
yeah,
right? You know,
exactly.
to use
have the right
resources.
proper tools.
Yeah.
He might not have a clue how. I don't know how you can't fix them today without that. It's amazing to me how many cars we fix today just simply putting an update in them from what we did years ago from that part. Is doing that side of a thing of putting updates in or looking at the codes. But again, like you said, our scanner didn't even have that. Those codes weren't even in there for that throttle position sensor, but knowing how to read the codes, read the flow chart, read what's going on. And that comes from training. That comes from years of experience and everything else in there to try to fix these cars the way we fix them today compared to we fixed them years ago. It's just not the same.
You know, you go back there and I mean, and I couldn't imagine working in an independent shop or a smaller repair shop that there was maybe one or two guys, you know, in, or an independent shop that you didn't have the manuals or the equipment to try and fix some of this stuff. Cause there's a lot of times, I mean, I know you go back there too, but there'll be 3 or 4 guys kind of standing around, you know, kind of troubleshooting what's going on and using other resources and different ideas and stuff like that. You know,
well, it's Josh. I'm going to tell you, 1984, I went to work for an independent truck standard there in Salina, Bill's Truck and Auto. Worked there a year, and I realized, you know what? I got no training.
Yeah.
I got nothing. I don't have the special tools. I have nothing. That's why I went right back into a dealership and went to work for the Pontiac Jeep dealer there, Bennett Pontiac in Salina, and went to work for them to where I knew that I could get some training, knew I had some better tools and stuff like that, because I knew I was a young tech. I wanted to grow and get better and better from that part. But so I knew that back then. Think what it is like it today.
So I've talked to several classes, you know, the area technical colleges and stuff like that when we meet with them. And I mean, there is a in the independent environment, you know, I guess you get to a certain point and then you say, okay, well, you got to take it to a dealer, right? But there's kind of a sense of pride in being able to pull a vehicle into your stall and know that no matter what's wrong with it, like you're going to be able to fix it. You're going to be able to figure out what's going on with it. And, you know, I've probably hit my head against a lot of walls a lot of times trying to figure something out, but also like there's again, it is reassuring to be able to fight something, but then to be able to figure out what was wrong with it and learn something from it and be better the next time, you know?
Yep, exactly right. You know, the amount of hours we spend training our technicians and keeping them up to date. It's kind of like you said, Josh, here a while back, is you get out of this business for 6 months and you're left behind.
Yeah.
That's how quick it's changing and moving and going to different things and stuff like that part. And, you know, every one of our technicians here in this main store, they got a laptop. They have to have it and to be able to diagnose these cars and have the information available for them to properly diagnose it. And you know what? Do we make mistakes? Yeah, we make mistakes. Hey, we're human.
Well,
we're gonna make mistakes.
And not only that, it's not, you know, making a mistake. There's situations that we get in, like you're kind of set up to fail, right? Like a vehicle doesn't act up all the time, or you don't have all the information, or, you know, the workshop, I've seen in many cases where a flow chart is incorrectly presented or you know, and there's revisions to that, right? Like the manufacturers go back through and review that information and help these guys,
That's
you know,
what I
based on experience and stuff like that. And then there's just some times where, to be perfectly honest, you just have to take a scientific wild ass guess, you
I
know,
tell you,
as to what's going on.
back in my day with the shop manuals, because you'd read the code,
Uh-huh.
and back in early and late 90s, you read a code with a paper clip, plugged in and watch the light flash, and then you got your shop manual flowing through the tro. And I can't tell you how many times I'd get down to that chart and say no trouble found.
Yeah.
Well, BS.
It's not working.
Lights on. So, again, the trouble tree wasn't quite right. So you'd have to then go back and dissect. Okay, it's doing this there, here. And I still remember one, code 32. It's an EGR valve code.
Mhm.
And I fought this on this Grand Am forever. Couldn't figure this thing out. And one day I was test driving, and I was going through a loop to get on the interstate to road test it again. As I went through the loop, and the car twisted enough, the light come on. Went back to the shop, started playing around, and that connector that went into the EGR valve was a 3-wire connector.
Uh-huh.
The middle connector, the little spring-loaded deal, was just a little bit weak, and all I had to do is reach in everything, the tools I had back then, and pull that clip up a little tighter, snapped it in tight, and fixed it. And I tell you, I fought that thing for so long, but I never could get it to act up in the stall.
Yep.
And I finally got it. I finally realized, hey, going around the corner, turned, got the right torque of the motor, went back, pulled it out, and I pulled that connector out. Why I didn't look at it before? Maybe from then on, look at every connector again. Looked in there, saw that middle connector. Look, that thing's a little shy, isn't it? Reached in there, procked that out there, plugged it back in, gone. But I can't tell you how long I fought that.
And so to that point, right? Like, you had to drive that vehicle a specific way in order to get there.
Yeah.
So, like, the consumer maybe experiences it.
Yeah.
Maybe experiences it, every other day or something like that on this specific route, driving it a specific way, and then you bring it into a shop and get a guy in it that's driving it a different way.
Yeah.
Like my wife drives her vehicle completely different than the way
Really?
I do.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Really?
Yeah. Completely. And if she had something going on the way she was driving that thing, I may never be able to replicate it. Right. So there's times where, especially on intermittent stuff, like I truly do feel for a customer that, we're trying to get something to act up or reproduce or whatever, because honestly, until as a technician, I mean, you can have common things that you've looked at or deal with on a day-to-day operation and based on description, or you can kind of guess at something, but there's nothing like experiencing it, right?
No,
to be
exactly.
able to diagnose it.
Well, let's go back. In the early 80s, there were 2-digit codes. Now we're at 4-digit codes. And the reason for that is they went in back in the 2-digit code days, it was a hard failure.
Mm-hmm.
You had a hard failure in that situation. Now with these 4-digit codes going in there, they now detect deterioration. So as things start to get out of that window, boom, the light's on. So it can come in and out of that window many a times and not know what's happening, that sort of thing too. And it's always frustrated me we got to duplicate it. Wait a minute, let's go back. Let's look at the scanner. Let's look at all the codes. Let's try to pull the trouble trees out. Let's kind of see, maybe we can find a common occurrence, maybe that might be doing this or whatever, and use all the resources we have with the technical bulletins and all that stuff. And, it's frustrating me too. Sometimes a technician will go up and find a technical bulletin or on one of those chat sites and say, oh, this has happened on the 18 F-150 EcoBoost. You do this, and it's always this. And they, before they even diagnose the car, they're diagnosing by reading what that chat board says that other technicians have problems. Oh, that's got to be my problem. No, wait a minute. It can't be. It might be, but you need to diagnose.
It's definitely a suspected area. My other thing too with that is, okay, and I see a lot of people do this, is, okay, I've got this problem. I Google this symptom, and then, okay, this specific year, make, and model have an issue with it, but then your year, make, and model is outside of what it's lying out for that to be. But just because it's out there that one had the problem, that now mine has a problem. Well, you could be completely, you could have completely different parts. You could be right. You could be, but there's a reason that they call out, especially in recalls, right? There's a reason they call out like VIN specific stuff, or because they've altered something or changed something, or altered a part to make it to where it doesn't have that problem again later on. And so it's just there's nothing like being able to feel what the customer's feeling, to be able to make make a vehicle actually act up and perform or not perform like what they're saying, to be able to replicate it, to know whether you've got it fixed or not, for sure.
Yep. Anyway, 316-462-3673. Anything ailing your car? Tires, brakes, batteries, anything. Automobile world, racing world, whatever you want to talk about. Love to hear from you. Got just a few minutes left on the show. We can take your call and see what's on your mind. So 316-462-3673. So anyway, real quick for the people that are just joining in here lately, Black Friday was a great day here at Mount Holland Ford, but it's not over. Everybody that purchased a vehicle started last Friday. We've had these black envelopes and draw money out, and it's anywhere from $500 to $5,000. Of course, the $5,000 left yesterday. Somebody finally drew it from that part. So got a lucky. It went to a good customer of ours that got lucky and got another $5,000. So
that's awesome.
But everybody that purchased a car, you get to put your name in a bucket. And Monday about noon, we're going to do a Facebook Live, and somebody else is going to get drawn out of that bucket, and they're going to win
Monday at noon.
$5,000. Somewhere around there. Close.
Okay.
I can't nail it down on exactly noon, but somewhere in there we're going to go live, and we're going to draw out another $5,000 for somebody from one of the purchases that made a purchase from last Friday to this Saturday from that part. Again, Ford also came out with starting on Black Friday a $500 Amazon gift card through December 2nd, which is Monday. And
that's on any new purchase, no matter what it is. Okay.
And I will tell you, everybody that got the Amazon gift card yesterday, just put it towards the deal.
Yeah. And so
another $500 there too.
That runs till when?
December through Monday.
Through Monday. Okay.
Through Monday on the Amazon gift card, or take the $500 and put it to your deal. But you got a better chance to draw one of our black envelopes, get a lot more money there.
Yeah. Yeah. How about new inventory?
Well, I challenge anybody out there to go find a Ford store that's got more inventory than Mel Hamilton Ford. If you're looking for a new Ford, everybody, we got the selection. We got it. I don't care what model it is, we've got it.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a couple of my gentlemen that I get along with very well in the industry, and they were talking about the inventory they had. And I was trying to get a Raptor from this one gentleman, and he says, you know what, Phil? He says, and his sales manager tried to say, well, we got so much inventory, you got to take a Super Duty and an Expedition. I called up the GM. I said, hey, dude, this isn't going to work. You want to start these games? He goes, well, I got so much inventory and everything else like that. He said, well, don't you need some Super Duties? I said, buddy, I got 140 of them sitting there. He goes, oh, I thought I was tough with 60. I said, yeah, I got 140. He said, no, I don't need a Super Duty. I got a Raptor to trade. You want to trade or not? And if you want to set the precedence, we'll set that precedent, because I got a bigger leg in the show here for the inventory I got. Guess what? We traded Raptor for Raptor when it all got said and done. But I challenge anybody to go find out a better selection of Ford inventory in the marketplace than what we have here at Mel Holland Ford. We got over 700 on the ground. That's the first time in 4 years that's happened. Having this many Super Duties is probably the first time in 4 years we've had Super Duties on the ground. It used to be we just sell Super Duties fast as they came in. Never had any in stock, but I got everything from the XLs all the way to the Platinums and Limiteds to help you. Used cars, yeah, we're still a little shy on that. We're trying to trade for them, and it seems like every time we get a little bit of headway. We sold over 23 used cars yesterday, so I just replenished our inventory once again. So we'll keep trading for them on the new side, to get us our trades. And I knew this was going to happen with COVID. We were out of new cars for so long, and the buying cycle changed, and now we've got the new. So now we just got to trade for them to put the inventory back. I watch the markets, I watch all the stuff, and I can go buy these cars at an auction or go to these rental car companies and stuff like that. But everybody, that's not where the deal's at anymore. I can get those and bring them back here and sell them to you, and I'm not going to make any money, and you're not going to get a good deal.
Well, and get something that tires are wore out, or you know what I'm saying. I mean, obviously not from us, but then you're going to be paying so much more for it that it's just not worth the value of the car.
And the real thing is the rental car companies couldn't get the inventory either. So instead of trading those cars at 30 and 40,000, they're now 70, 80, 90,000 miles. Yeah, and they're just think.
I understand.
How'd you treat rental cars?
I understand completely.
That's why I won't go buy them. I won't do it. Yeah. And I've tried a few here and there to try to see how they work, and they just don't work. From that part, for you as a consumer, I want to sell you a good car, so we're just going to trade for them. Is what we're going to do. From that part. So we're rolling into December here already. What's the next 25 model that you're going to see? F-150. Okay. You got our Explorers on the ground. We got Escapes on the ground, 25s. F-150 start building next week in Kansas City, and they've kind of flipped it this year. Normally they start building the high-end F-150s first, but they're going to start building the XLs and XLTs first in 25. So that's going to be our next 25 model year we're going to see. The Broncos are in production. Mustangs are in production. Bronco Sports are in production.
How about the Expedition?
They're telling us we're not going to see them till March.
That's
I
what
wish
I
they
was
could move that up a little
figuring.
faster. A lot of videos, a lot of things out there. We got to see that back
Yep.
in September, when
Yep.
Josh, and they did a great job redoing the Expedition. I can't wait for everyone to actually put your hands on it and see it and touch it. The new tailgate's pretty cool. The new dash is pretty cool. So a lot of new and exciting stuff coming down the pike.
You
and,
think as far as 25, that's probably the biggest change, right? As far
Expedition
as
is our biggest change.
yeah,
Yeah, biggest change from 25 is the Expedition for sure. Well, I don't know. You kind of match it up to Explorer. 25 Explorers.
Well,
That's an all new truck
yeah,
too. There's hardly anything
yeah.
carried over in the 25 Explorer, also. So a lot of exciting stuff there too.
Have you been in a 25 Explorer yet? I don't know.
Oh yeah,
either. Have
I
you?
like it. I really do. I love the
like
dash.
the sync system, how that
The
worked
sync's
out
a lot
for
better. The adaptive cruise is so much better. The whole car just feels better to me.
you.
And how it ride and drives and stuff like that too. Yeah, just a beautiful car. They did a great job with the Explorer. Of course, it's the best-selling SUV in the country from that part. So yeah, did a great job in Explorer. I'm sure the Expedition is going to be right behind it from that part too. So anyway, Josh, running out of time. Anything else? Last comments or anything?
Hey, we're getting. I hate to even say this, but getting closer and closer to the holiday season and stuff like that. And so definitely, if you're looking for a rental car, or if you need to get your car ready to go for a upcoming trip or whatever, now's the time to start thinking about that.
Don't
for
wait
sure.
till the last minute, right?
Don't wait till the last minute. So
okay, Black Friday's still going through today for Mel Hamilton Ford. Black envelopes for every customer that buys a vehicle today, and some great numbers coming through there, anywhere from 500. I'm going to have to say 4,500 now because the 5,000 got drawn yesterday afternoon. But still a lot of envelopes laying on the table for people to take advantage of that. And then again, everybody that purchased a car through today from last Friday, their name's going into the chest, and we're going to draw out next Monday. Around 12 o'clock, we'll go live and draw somebody out of there for $5,000 on top of that.
that's going to be super exciting.
Exactly. And next Saturday, Delbert just reminded me, next Saturday, Josh, you know what next Saturday is?
Oh, man.
I'm going back up on the roof, buddy. It's toy drive time. December 7th is toy drive. How about that?
Completely forgot about that.
Let's get Josh forgetting about that. Delbert didn't. Delbert got it right on there, buddy. Reminding me about that. So, yeah, the toy drive's coming up for Salvation Army, so don't forget that. Go out and get you a new unwrapped toy and help us out and get me off that roof as quick as we can. Of course, it's probably going to be sunny and 70, Josh. Good, clean living.
You know what? Right. We're close enough now that I think I could.
Nah, you just leave that. Leave that alone.
Just let it go.
Just let it go. I don't want to know yet.
Well, I'm not telling you, so.
Yeah, I bet you're not either. Even if you do see what's true, you're going to lie to me what the hell the temperature's really going to be up there, but that's okay.
Blowing snow.
Been there, done that a couple years. So anyway, I think this is going to be my 16th year to go up there, Josh. I think.
It's crazy.
Isn't it? But that's okay. Doing it for the kids, doing it for that. So toy drive next Saturday. After the show, I'll go up on the roof and we're going to fill up some F-150s with toys. So bring a new unwrapped toy out here for the kids of the Salvation Army to help them have a great Christmas and that sort of thing too. So lots of things going on here at Mel Hamilton Ford. Don't miss out on our excitement. Make sure you like the Facebook page. Stay on top of everything from us, and don't be ready for Monday at noon around, or give or take, someone's going to win another $5,000. Oh, I just got a message from Santa Claus. He's going to be here from 11 to 1 too with Mrs. Claus this year. Don't be trying to get on Santa's lap this year either, Josh.
Well, I'll try not.
Santa will be here 11 to 1. Bring your kids out, get a picture of Santa, and let the kids tell Santa what they want for Christmas. So anyway, Delbert, no, it's not chili. You don't know what chili is. You eating chili? Is that what you're talking about?
It's going to be perfect, is what he said.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, everybody, have a great Saturday. Come see us. Don't forget the last day today to get in on the drawing for the $5,000 on Monday at noon. Everybody buys a car. And also the toy drive next Saturday. Here we go. Everybody have a great day. Have a great Saturday. We'll talk to you next Saturday at 9 o'clock.